Tell me about why you value aluminum. Explain us.
Okay. Yeah, aluminum is one of the basic resources because it allows you to upgrade your HQ, which is like the core way of progressing your economy in this game. So everyone except the elites will need aluminum to upgrade, and upgrading is very, very important, so I want to look for aluminum. And because I can look over to the left and see how many deposits there are in total on the entire map, I see there's only 6 high and 2 medium. I see there are underground nukes. I get a bit worried. Although 6 isn't super few, but there's also 6 players in the game. So if a few nukes start dropping, this will get pretty nasty.
That's a nice explanation.
Yeah.
So everyone except Melonter has dropped their HQ.
Diverse set of HQs here. One of each. And 2 expensives, 2 numbers.
Alright. So we're seeing... let's go through all the HQs.
Okay. Can I just do a quick strategy thing for what you want to do on HQ1? If you're a steel user on this price, where steel started double, you just want to make steel and buy the aluminum. Because steel is so profitable to make and sell. But okay, let's go through the funds. Should we start with Lich Shadow?
Yeah, Lich Shadow.
Okay, Lich Shadow found it in a crater.
We don't see often.
In it. Yeah, I've very rarely seen this.
Yeah.
Iron, so usually craters have carbon in them. But this one had a high iron, that's incredible. And he did what I suggested, just make steel and sell it down for aluminum, very, very nice. Yeah, we don't have to super study it. Let's do DT. Second, he also found a near single high iron. He's in the corner a bit, farther away from the colony, carbon, water compared to Lich Shadow. But he has more space and is in the corner, which might make him go unnoticed. With Peasant as a scientist, founding... Ooh, I think he might have gotten the best found looking at this. And he paid debt to get this. So Peasant got steel... well, I guess the carbon is taken. Steel, ice, and carbon nearby, although carbon is mostly taken, which as a scientist mean he can... Oh wow, he's frozen already. He can make a lot of money on the life support markets. And also he probably gets more steel than anyone else. Just for the double. I think every other iron was single. Anyway, what do you think about Peasant's Found?
Yeah, I like this because there's plenty of water nearby, there's enough steel to work with, although I'm not sure about the extra steel that consumes iron at this point. I might have preferred to see something extra water resources, maybe a black magic farm or additional reactor.
Yeah, absolutely. And interestingly, he gooned his aluminum mine, realizing that it's a vulnerable point. I like that. Okay, next to him is Sophie, who is the one, I believe, the one who throws Peasant. So this happens sometimes when you found next to someone, they will attack you because you're what they see. And Sophie's in the same market, so it's really good for her also to hit electrolysis reactors. And this is a solid found, although aluminum is really far away. And scavengers might need a lot of aluminum. We'll see how this works out. How's the silicon access in this area of the map? There's 2 lows. Somewhat nearby. Well, there is some silicon, but they have to ship a fair amount. But with 2 nomads, the last 2. So nomads often sell down silicon for us. Malontel has to ship a lot of aluminum. Actually, his silicon is very nukeable. It's a risky nomad found, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Let's see if the nukes stop dropping. To the back, also going nomad. Okay, so he has more silicon to get, but he currently only claimed 2 of them and is in triple glass. So he will gain silicon really, really slowly right now. Triple glass is really good for making money.
Yeah.
And he's already in a patent lab.
There's something we can consider when selling down glass. It is important to make money, but by selling glass, it also makes other HQs easier to upgrade. So you have to balance that. You don't want to crash this market, but you also want to be the only and of the first one to take profit off of this glass demand. Demand being other HQs all other HQs except for nomadics will consume glass to upgrade.
Yeah. And both our pattern labbers are currently going for superconductor, but peasant will get it first. With an undefended pattern lab, actually.
Yeah, this is...
And
I like this. This is a well-timed superconductor.
It is. Yeah, power started spiking. Nobody went hard into power, as far as I can see. Yeah, I think Sophie is making the most power right now with these 2 wind turbines. Which means that peasant with the with the superconductor is the new power leader. Although he has a ton of debt too, so probably no power money going on there.
Yeah, but it means their debt is under
really
control.
Aggressive on the black market. Yeah, that's true.
As a scavenger, that's their strength. The problem is in 6 FFA that strength is a bit saturated. They can attack a lot of people, but it might not be as effective because there's 4 other opponents to think about.
DT, interestingly, doing an adrenaline boost on undefended solar panels. This is a very bold move.
And peasant answers with
relying on the
counter boost.
Yeah. Counter boost. So yeah, it's kind of relying on the fact that people are less likely to use black market offensively in 6 FFAs, I think. Because there's so many targets, why would you choose him over anyone else, kind of thing?
Yeah. Well,
and it seems to have worked out for him. At least it's been going on for 25 seconds.
To be fair, my play style is to get a stockpile of something, and if I feel that this person is DT, then I power search them, and
okay.
If that some person boosted them, then I also power search them. If not, I usually just let them do something because it's so crazy. There's so much going on.
Yeah. And yeah, we have a bunch of patterns, and the colony was a chem colony, so chem is one of the rising markets. Food also very underutilized, and Sophie's in it. A triangle making 450 a second. This is really, really good money. To the back, also in that triangle, and DT moving into a pair. So people recognizing the food is an easy market to get into and a very profitable one. Oh, Lich Shadow also has a triangle. Lich Shadow looking pretty good here, although he will be easy to target with black market. And furthermore, on patent front to the back got the nanotech patent. And further going for thinking machines, while peasant is going for carbon scrubbing, which is a really good choice for him.
The first nuke.
Sophie has the first pleasure though.
First nuke of the game. Is it second, actually?
No, I think...
Yeah, it's...
people have bought them and not used them.
Yeah, that's true. Second nuke of the game. So we expect the water can be rising.
Yeah. So I was talking about aluminum nukes in the beginning, but the time for that is kind of went now. Aluminum nuke this time is not too efficient. What you can do, if you have a solid source of water yourself, you can nuke other people's water to make your own. Like if you're a scientist, for example. Or you could nuke the primary resource of your main threats, like their iron or their copper. If the copper, their carbon in Sophie's case would be a nice hit. And Sophie's Pleasure Dome earning really good money.
Yeah, it's a very nice time. The power has crashed, and well, she's the only person who's making entertainment money.
Yeah. Surprised that nobody's really going for virtual reality here. Lich Shadow going for teleportation. Peasant didn't go for anything after carbon scrubbing. To the back scrapped his after thinking machines. And Sophie is also going for a pattern, but not virtual reality, even though she already has the Pleasure Dome. I'm not sure. So virtual reality is a really strong patent, especially in bigger FFAs.
So
I guess Lantering is really good too.
For a comparison, this Pleasure Dome is making 374 or 336 as 8, 9 something for accountable power. And let's see one of the best market right now, which is chemical, and it's making 174. So but this platinum is doing the 2 tiles worth of money making, which is excellent.
Yeah.
Or even
and
more.
Luciano went for teleportation. First of all, I want to point out, Luciano, if you're in this much debt and you have the black market cooldown already, just buy this Cook the Books. It's a really, really good item. Lets you not worry about spiraling so much. And you can buy it even when you're in debt. And it's really cheap right now. I really can't see any reason not to buy this Cook the Books. Also, I have no idea where you got teleportation. So, virtual reality would have been better. Well, I can't say that for Geo Borehole. I do think Energy Vault would have been better. Like, what are you getting out of teleportation? Well, I guess actually your water will be more protected. Maybe it does make some sense. Because now you can claim all your tiles on top of water and use that as your base. Rotating out when you get nuked. What do you think about it? Was teleportation good here?
Teleportation as Lit Shadow. Well, teleportation is another effect of making sure your HQ does not be cluttered too much. And Lit Shadow is in a crater. Yeah. So I think it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I changed my mind a bit.
And also, yeah, also they can swap this really water. Rich.
Yeah. Well, yeah, generally I would still prioritize virtual reality higher.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not bad. Anyway, it's a real problem in this situation to be Lit Shadow because it's HQ5 expensive, so it's a lucrative sub. But you're also $5 cheaper than anyone else in stock price. I expect Tudeback to start buying into his stock and his second now.
Yeah. When you have this amount of money, you need to use it for something. Invest it or buy someone.
Lit Shadow needs to invest his money in his own stock. Like a minute ago, preferably. Because really easy target. And you don't want to be an easy target.
Something I want to mention is that Sophie was nuked on her water. But then a moment later, like a second later, she got slant drilling. So her water, although this water tile is nuked, she can mine triple high, double high. Of course, it is also vulnerable to nuke, and if this high gets nuked, she will be diminished to double low. And if that happens, she can get a claim next to this water and supplement it, or she, as a person who found it on ice patch, she can use this ice for supplemental water.
Oh yeah. The engineers have advanced our production. Yeah, the ice thing is actually a really solid idea. I kind of like it.
Yeah, ice is not great, but it's it will never get nuked. That's the strength of ice.
Yeah.
And to me, ice is like a reactive water source. If your regular water is too distant, you can use ice, and it's also opportunistic. You can just found an ice patch, and if there's solar flare, you build like triple water on ice and get a lot of water. Or you can supplement water if your water is like power surge. It's very flexible. I like it.
Yeah.
Speaking of investment,
from the leader, I might just claim a few to protect myself from future nukes. But yeah, go ahead.
Speaking of future investment, Tutbeck decided to invest in their own stock, which means they believe in their long-term strength, and then started building an Offworld market, and then started attacking Malontel. What do you think about this move?
Well, first of all, I want to point out he's not using his Offworld, which is really upsetting me. But yeah, I think he definitely had a shot to buy Lich Shadow like I discussed. He was almost there, in fact. And that would be a much better investment than his Offworld. Offworlds aren't amazing money. And I think just by having all the stock, having a lot of money, he's kind of making himself a target anyway. Like, you become a target if you buy someone, but I still kind of think he's somewhat of a target. Especially with this adrenaline boost. So... But I don't know. And I don't know about making the Offworld. I definitely don't like going to Marlantel because they were very well defended. They're the only person without that.
Yeah, this is what happens when you build an Offworld. It just got blown up. But that that boost did not go punished, so it's making excellent amount of money. It's even better than Offworld per tile right now.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's perfect electronics. You must have some real foresight to go for this. It's making 11 electronics a second. And, oh, now he's going to Lich Shadow, who responds by paying off their debt. So, yeah, Turbak is definitely the target here. And yeah, like you pointed out, that means your Offworld will get a lot of attention too.
Yes.
I want to point out he does have thinking machines, so he's not as upset about it as he would have been without it. But
yeah.
still not great.
Oh, magnetic zone? Looks like it blown up a lot of water. And water price is not too small.
Peasant should at this point invest heavily into power. When you have superconductor and power is approaching $300, you do this with your hands and you cash in. You make some solar panels, you make some wind turbines. This is your way into the money. Peasant, please.
Power money.
More. There we go. Oh, you're going to farms on not water. What's going on? Is this a misclick? Look at Peasant.
Well, terrain. Yeah, there's no ice there.
Yeah, there's no ice, and he needs power. Although power really crashed. DT surplused it, or did a bunch of people boosted? Yeah, okay. 3 people are committing hard into power. But okay, well, I guess those farms are profitable, so I can't say too much bad about it. It just felt a bit weird there.
Tutbek is closing on buying out on one player. They can be Marlantel or Midlist Shadow.
Yeah. And I think I would prefer Lich Shadow, just because as an expansive they have 5 more claims. 4 more claims than no.
Let's talk about optimization. When you compare the optimization priorities between DT and Lich Shadow, can you comment on this optimization style? Lich Shadow optimized highly on steel and food and also power, and DT focused on chemical and electronics, and now going for food.
Yeah, so they have a similar style, I would say, by going very focused. I want to say that steel is not a great one, because it's really easy one to crash. And there's usually not as much money in it as the others, and if you do crash steel, other people benefit, because they can buy it cheap. So I kind of like the strategy, go hard into something and produce a lot of it. Although I don't like that he abandoned food. He has it perfect. Oh, it's not abandoned, it's just frozen. My bad. But yeah, I don't like the steel choice. So I do prefer DT's choices of chems and electronics, because they're 2 commodities here that will almost certainly rise.
Yeah.
Although DT almost certainly wishes his food was optimized more. It's a really good money maker right now.
So optimization, when they optimize power, while power optimizing power does have greater effect in other resources, because power buildings make more than other buildings, like one power than 0.5. But the problem is power crashes very easily. So after that, it crashes. Your investment into optimization usually won't do much. So you have to be aware of that. If power is going to be important for long term, it's going to be great optimization. Otherwise, if it crashes and it never rises, then this optimization would have been useful otherwise. And usually electronics glass, chemical, they pay off for a long-term payoff.
Yeah.
So I like this choice from DT. What is great though.
Turbag is making 11 glass a second. He seems to be adopting this playstyle where he heavily invests into one market and crushes it. And it seems to be working really well for him. And this kind of works because he has nanotechnology.
Yeah.
And it really allows him to get benefit out of his nice optimizations.
And Tootback already bought us up and already got 400k in hand. So people should be trying to stop them.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like
Dynamite
is
Offworld. People who have 500,000 each.
And black market is it's so saturated now.
The black market?
Too expensive now.
Yeah. It means, I guess, if you have some time, if you think the game's gonna go, this is a good time to build your Offworlds. Because it's gonna be expensive to hit them. But yeah, this is a stock market game now. And the team made a move into Tudeback. And Tudeback bought DT.
Yeah. So people should combine their power. Should they split their stock?
I honestly have no idea how this should be done.
They do.
I mean, I guess we have to buy Tudeback to win. Tudeback has to fall. So I'll probably just buy into him as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Unless I notice that I have a lot more money than my opponents, then I might wait for them to do it.
But if you wait,
to make sure we can bring them down.
Well, if you wait for too long and let's Tootback get so much money, then the stock price difference is going to be massive.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a tough situation. Lit Shadow is a really good sub. Really good sub.
Yeah.
He's the one who got virtual reality, and even though his Pleasure Dome isn't even at the colony, which by the way I would have preferred to see, he's still making really good money here. And his water claims are amazing. Basically just claimed too many water claims for people to be able to nuke it. It's an interesting strategy.
Hasn't bought Sophie.
Yeah. Not a fan of this, because there's no way you can catch up to Tudeback.
Yeah.
So they did all need to go into Tudeback.
Because now Tootback will finish this bar and Sophie basically has to do 4-on-2 battle, which is an uphill battle, and I don't think she'll make it.
Peasant versus Tudeback.
Oh yeah, Peasant versus Tootback.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree. They did need to gang up on Tudeback. I'm just not sure if it was possible, but it's not possible any other way either. So we might as well try.
Yeah.
In a situation like this, sometimes people have grudges too. So if you're one of these 3 people, some people in that situation just spend their hundreds of K on the black market hitting the leader, which could help you catch up to him. I mean, you will definitely lose if you're the one buying the black market, but the other people might be able to do it. So yeah, just there's a chance, so at least take the chance. I don't think there's any chance if you buy Sophie here, I suppose.
Yeah, I would like to point out that Tootback is doing excellence, stockpiling these black market items to see if there's anything that will matter. And well, he did not have to do it, judging from the result of the game. But this is an excellent strategy. You wait for the necessary moment to present itself and then strike.
I think we missed something. I'm not sure what they're chatting about.
Offworld shipment launched. Look at all the money.
Well,
all right. Well, pastas take it, I guess.
Yeah, we have a lot of pastas here.
Mm-hmm.